Without a doubt, Alex Hormozi is one of the most influential people in my life, and he has taught me 5 things above all else, and I am going to break them down for you, so hopefully it can give you some value. So first off, we have the offer is king. So if you haven't read $100 million offers, I highly, highly, highly suggest you go and do that. I read through it, and it inspired me so much that I created an hour and 20-minute video that took me 3 months and hundreds of hours to make, where I watched all of his videos about offers because it was so profound. Because before Hormozi, I thought marketing was everything, right? As a marketer, I thought if you can show people, if you shout the loudest, if you can get enough eyeballs and attention, you'll win. But what I learned is that if the offer isn't irresistible, no amount of marketing will save it. So the right offer won't survive the wrong offer won't survive even if the marketing is genius. And so in order of importance, it is the target audience, offer, and then marketing. And his value equation of dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, time delay, and effort and sacrifice is always something I come back to. I still remember walking down the street telling my friend, "Oh my God, bro, this is the secret to sales and marketing. It's the offer." And I'm like, dream outcome, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, this is so profound. It was like a life-changing experience. And so the offer being king is number one. Number two is to understand that you need to be the exception. So in order to have an exceptional life, it stands to reason that you need to be an exception. And by definition, it means that you need to do things in a different way than almost everybody else. And so other people won't get what you're doing. They'll say yes to comfort. You have to say no. You have to ignore critics. You have to embrace being misunderstood. And people will even beg you to stop. And they care about you, and they don't want to see you get hurt, and that's why. But they don't understand that the path that you've chosen is different. And what you're trying to do is be an exception. All right? So by definition, it needs to be something completely different than everybody else. Otherwise, you're just going to get what everybody else has had. So a good rule of thumb to think about it is like this. If they don't understand it, if they don't get it, you're probably on the right track. Because if they did get it, then they would be doing it. And I don't want their life. I don't know about you. Number 3 is going to sound a little bit nihilistic here, but this is maybe the most important thing he's taught me, is that there is no such thing as legacy. In 3 generations, nobody will remember your name, your business, or your achievements. It used to sound depressing and nihilistic, but it's actually incredibly freeing, because if nobody is going to care about you or anything you did or said in 3 generations, why should you care about what they think about you right now? And so it becomes like this is all just a big game, and there's no winner, and it's just about playing the game, right? So hard work is hard because it's hard, and that's why it's hard. That's his kind of his motto, really. So it's like, play the game, move the goalpost, enjoy playing the game. The purpose of the game is to play the game. It's not to win the game. It's not to be the guy with the biggest trophy or the most amount of money, because all of that is never sustainable and nobody will remember. And also, at the same time, the thing that's stopping you from taking action most of the time, at least it was for me, especially with posting these videos, was that I was afraid what other people would think about me. But they don't think about me nearly as much as I think they do, and they don't matter, because in 100 years, they won't remember my name. In 5 years, they won't remember my name. If I died tomorrow, they wouldn't remember me for more than 2 or 3 days. And so it's both sad but also incredibly freeing, because it's like, well, what constraints do I have on my mindset anymore other than what I place on it? So play the game, but don't let the game own you. Don't give everything you've got to the game, but enjoy playing the game. That's the purpose. It's not to accumulate stuff. Number 4 is volume negates luck. So he talks about a bunch of famous stories where he runs some flyers, and he says he put out 500 and he didn't get a single return. And the guy's like, "Oh, we test with 5,000. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he talks about how he's posting on LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube. And he's asking his friend, pull up your Instagram. I posted 4 times today. How many times have you posted? Once. How many times you posted on LinkedIn? None. I posted 6 times today. It's just a volume game. The people that I know that are the most disgustingly successful do 400 times the volume than I do. And it's like, no wonder they're successful. And so I always come back to this framework of more, better, new. And it's something that I used to struggle with so much, where I always want to try and do something brand new. And probably if you're watching this and you're brand new into the entrepreneur space, you're trying to make money online, you probably jumped from thing to thing, from project to project, and you wonder like, oh, when am I going to find that thing that goes to the moon? Anything works if you do it long enough. And if you put in the work and you don't stop and you do the volume, you will win. But if you switch from thing to thing, or if you try and implement a whole bunch of different stuff in your business, like currently, cold outreach and content is working really well. And what I wanted to do for a very long time is to introduce ads. And I still may do that, but with some, and I might create content around it, but it's not more and it's not better of what's already working. It's new. And so Hormozi, if he was sitting in front of me, he'd be like, okay, so is cold outreach working? Yes. Okay, why can't we do 100 times that? Well, I guess we could. Okay, so why don't we do that? Okay, fair enough. Is content working? Yeah, content is working really well. Okay, how many videos are you making a day? 1. Why can't you do 4 a day? I had this conversation with my most successful friend, and I said, I want to run ads. And he's like, where are the leads coming from? And I was saying, well, most of the leads are coming from content. And he goes, how many pieces of content are you putting out a day? And I said, 1. And he goes, wow, you could easily do 2 a day in a live stream. Like, that's 3 pieces of content right there. So you could just triple your output. You could just do more. And here I am, not even trying to do it better. I'm trying to do something brand new because I have this shiny object entrepreneur syndrome where I jump from thing to thing to thing. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about that. How silly do I feel? He's so right. And so volume negates luck. Decide what you want. And he says this. He's like, if all your books were burned, if all your videos were destroyed, what's one piece of advice that you would give? He's like, decide what you want, then do so much volume, it would be unreasonable for you not to succeed. It's kind of that simple. Just do the volume, and whatever volume you think you need to be doing, it's probably 10 times more than that. That's what it takes to win. And then finally, the most important thing, I think, is that he taught me, and he is the reason why I spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching, because when I listen to this guy, he sounds like an 85-year-old billionaire. Doesn't he? He's my age. But Hormozi is 100 millionaire many times over, and he speaks like an 85-year-old billionaire not because he came out of the womb like that, not because he's something special and he's smarter than everybody else in the world. He has some talents for sure, but he has found people who have what he wants, and he's paid them to teach him. He's paid them to teach him, and then he's become the best student. Again, I sound like a broken record because it seems so obvious, but my most successful friend is an extremely focused, dedicated, ambitious, consistent entrepreneur, but all he's done is he's found people who sell information, and then he's paid to have access to their group, whatever it costs, and then he's done exactly what they tell him to do, step by step, and he's been the best student. And it's ridiculous, the results that you get when you do that. And as soon as I started paying for access, as soon as I started uncrossing my arms and eyes and legs and everything else, because I thought that I was the clever one, and my ego and pride was stopping me from getting help, because I thought once I get to the finish line, if I get there by myself, it'll feel better and I'll be able to go, well, I'm self-made, which is just such a ridiculous notion. So this idea of self-made is dog's bollocks. Find somebody who has what you want, put your ego aside, become their best student, do the reps, do the volume, and then he's like, one of the most important things he taught me was this, but he said something that was really profound, which is you can drop, and I understand this intellectually, but for some reason when Hormozi said it, it flicked a light bulb in my mind, and then the next day I paid 20 grand, right? It was almost like that. If you drop him into any situation in any place in the world, he will be able to figure it out because of the skills that he's acquired in becoming the man that he is today. And oftentimes, the 200 cold calls that you get told to F off, or that you get told no, all the pain and suffering that you go through in a period of 12 months or something, where you cold call, you cold email, you get on a call and you get told no, and objections. The type of person, the type of man, the character that you build is the most important thing in the whole process. It's not the result. The result is you. He talks about it being the SME 500. If you invest in you, if you just think about it like a game, and you need to go out and you need to level up all of your stats. And the higher your stats are, the more happiness you will have, the more fulfillment you'll have, the more success you'll have, right? If it was a video game and you needed to go out and study in a school and click a bunch of buttons to get your intelligent level up, or you needed to go and work at a place to get your experience points up, you would do that. But in real life, we're all looking for a shortcut. We're all looking for a vehicle or some kind of shortcut to get it in there, but to get to the result. But the result is the type of person that you become along the way and the skills that you acquire. And so invest in as many programs, buy as much skills as you can, buy info until you're blue in the face. Because my experience has been the skills that you can acquire, that you want to acquire to become the type of person, man, that you need to be to get the result that you want, are all out there, and they probably only cost a couple $1,000s. And look, I hate to be a shill here, but that's exactly what the Shipping Society is. So if you don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to be $30,000 to be at a Hormozi one-on-one workshop, to fly out to Las Vegas and do all of that, you can get access to the Shipping Society, which people have said is the next best thing. I don't know if I agree with that, but we have a 50% off sale now for another couple days, and you get access to ACQAI through me. You get access to one call a week with me. You get access to the classroom. You get access to breakdowns using ACQAI. You get access to breakdowns of Hormozi's workshops, which are coming soon, and all of the processes and SOPs that I have struggled for years to figure out. And all of the money that I have spent on mentorship, I've tried to put it into this simple place for you guys to work through step by step. So if that's interesting for you, I'll leave a link below. But Hormozi is an absolute G. If you are like me and you love this guy and he's made such a profound impact on your life, then let me know down below. I'd love to hear your story about how this bearded gentleman has helped you in your life. Other than that, make sure you watch this video here on the screen, and I'll see you in the Shipping Society and in the next video.